between the EPs that you'd put out beforehand and what we've heard so far from this new LP, you seem to have made a big jump sonically as well as technically. Was there anything you could attribute that to?
I guess more than anything, I really took a year off of writing anything new and really learned a lot over that time just from playing shows and working and collaborating with other musicians. And so I was coming into this new record with a lot more know-how. And so, and I also, a lot of the early songs I was writing for this new record just seemed to be much bigger. And so I really wanted to follow through with that. And kind of the tail end of the recording process, I realized that my production skills weren't quite up to the task. And so that's when I reached out to Ben Allen, the producer that helped me finish everything up. And his role was mainly one of just kind of guiding me and making things as dynamic as possible in the mixing process. And yeah, it was a really great experience. I learned a ton from him.
Yeah. So was most of this then still put together, at least in the early parts, at your place?
Yeah, definitely. I basically wrote and recorded, I would say, probably 90% of what you hear in my bedroom, or actually it was a little converted bedroom. It's a modest little studio. And then we tracked some drums and vocal parts in Ben's studio in Atlanta.
So you're kind of part of this, well, I don't know if I call it a generation, but this new deal anyway that's still in its infancy, these bedroom artists, and you've even been given the whole chill wave stamp.
Yeah.
Is that something that you really do identify with?
As far as being a bedroom producer, I definitely, I mean, that's what I came out of. I've been making music kind of alone in my bedroom for years now. Never really grew up playing in bands or anything like that. But as far as the chill wave thing, it wasn't anything that I intended on creating. It was sort of a natural progression of some of the things I was listening to and some of the sort of new and different production techniques that I was just playing around with. And really, because I was self-taught, a lot of the things I was doing for someone that has the training, it's very non-traditional, but for me, it made complete sense. So I guess I really stumbled upon some of this, new genre tags.
Yeah. What got you interested in production?
Well, I grew up playing piano and always really loved music, and but it wasn't until I got my first PC and got some recording software that I really just learned to love it, and it became sort of an obsession. And I guess more than anything, what I love about it is just being able to kind of start from scratch and build a song and using multi-tracking to sort of do everything myself. And I don't necessarily play very well with others, so it's nice to have the final say over these mixes and these songs.
When you're doing it out live, is it still just you, or are you playing with a band at this point?
Yeah, I'm playing with a band. We've been playing together now for a couple months, and it's certainly a lot more fun at that stage to have some interaction happening between the other musicians and and I think the audience really responds from it as well. And so, yeah, it can be challenging at times because the material on record has numerous different multi-tracked parts, and so it can get kind of challenging figuring out how to play all this stuff. But I guess that's part of the fun as well, just kind of coming up with these condensed versions of the songs.
You also had something interesting happen lately with Portlandia. Is that right?
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Getting an email directly from Fred Armisen was definitely a highlight. I had heard the label that put out my first album, based in New York, and had some connection to him, and I'd heard that he was a fan, but I was really surprised that he reached out and they were interested in using the song, and of course I'm a fan of his comedy and of the show, so yeah, it was great.
Well, the track we're going to be playing this week, of course, is the single that's been out there on the web, Eyes Be Closed. Anything you can tell us about that?
It was one of the first songs that I started on with the record, but it was one of the last ones finished. So it was kind of a challenge. I knew that there was something there, but the little bridge part towards the end of the song that builds into the chorus, I came up with it very late in the process, which kind of brought everything together. So yeah, it's one of my favorites from the record.
Well, thanks a ton for talking with us, and good luck this year. It sounds like there's a lot of good things lining up for you. So
yeah, it's really exciting. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure.
And hopefully we'll see you around soon. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.